I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we're gathered, the Ngunnawal people, and pay my respects to their elders past and present, and thank them for their ongoing wonderful contribution to the beautiful Canberra community. Thank you, Ross. To the Information Awareness Month Committee, to all information professionals and practitioners whose exceptional work we're celebrating through the course of this month. Ladies and gentlemen, and particularly to the two students from Dixon College, a wonderful presentation. The first term of a new government is arguably one of the most transformative periods of a modern democracy, as new ideas emerge to respond to new challenges and the old and irrelevant are cast away. Around the world, governments and their leaders are exploring the possibilities the internet offers to redefine democratic participation and redefine it in a way that renews our confidence in our system of both governance and public administration. We are witness to communities leaping ahead with their own innovations in response to slow, old-fashioned bureaucracies. And the internet is the open platform of choice, and the freedom and creativity being displayed in the design of new digital tools, be they services, ways to communicate, collaborate and share, are all inspiring. It is the nations which are able to harness the energy and excitement for active engagement using these new digital tools that will best be able to respond to the challenges and complexities of modern government. Why? Because through this engagement, we're able to tap into the experience, ideas and expertise of a whole population and use it to inform the task at hand. Australia is well placed to be a leading nation in this regard. And I can say with some authority that Australia has never before been better prepared to leverage the opportunities of the digital age. The National Broadband Network and the digital education revolution exemplify the magnitude of our plan to close the digital divide and ensure the next generation of Australians is well equipped to fully participate in an online-enabled society. And I reference the St Hilda's presentation as a case in point. While these two transformative policies set a firm base for participation by citizens in the digital economy, the government is also taking a visionary approach to citizen-centric services, democratising information and citizen engagement and collaboration. Yesterday, as Ross has already let you know, on the eve of Information Awareness Month for 2010, the government provided the further practical substance to the policy commitment to an open and transparent government through their response to the Gov 2.0 Taskforce Report. Cabinet Secretary and Special Minister of State, Senator Jo Ludwig, and the Minister for Finance and Deregulation, Lindsay Tanner, announced the government's detailed response to those recommendations, and it was extremely positive. This is a significant step forward for Australia, as the task force brief was to define the first important steps to achieve an open government relevant to, engaged with and responsive to the needs of citizens. In other words, the first steps to redefining how we participate in our own democracy. The term Gov 2.0, I think you probably all know it in this room, is a play on Web 2.0. It infers the application of Web 2.0 tools and practices to government, but also infers a next generation approach to government. I'd like first to discuss the issue of citizen-centric services. This direction was reinforced recently in the Blueprint for Reform of the Australian Government Administration, titled Ahead of the Game. Chaired by the Secretary of the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet, Terry Moran, this report recommends the implementation of citizen-focused service delivery. It recommends leveraging technology for automated and simplified processes, fueling my hope that bureaucratic silos and the rigid distinction between federal, state and territory and local government fade in an integrated online environment that is relevant and responsive to the individual citizen's needs. Significantly, it recommends strategies for achieving more open government that enable citizens to collaborate on policy and service delivery, allowing more tailored solutions for communities. I'd now turn to democratising information. Making information collected for and on behalf of the citizens of Australia publicly available, unless there is a demonstrable reason not to, represents a big change in attitude, culture and practice. The first significant step is the Freedom of Information Amendment Reform Bill of 2009 and the Information Commissioner Bill. These bills represent a significant overhaul of Australia's freedom of information laws in over 25 years, and I know the Minister's working hard to have them considered by the Senate in the forthcoming winter session. The Senate committee report into these bills, tabled in March, endorsed the government's pro-disclosure approach across government and offered some practical recommendations that are now being considered. These bills help build on the strong foundation for more openness in government, and I particularly welcome the announcement of the Information Commissioner Designate, Professor John McMillan AO, who will take up the role of Information Commissioner as soon as the bills pass. A great example of creating new value through the use of government data with the ideas and contributions of the community is in fact the Mapping Our Anzacs website created here at the National Archives of Australia. The website is a tool to browse the service records in the Australian Army from World War I, and family and friends can contribute their own personal reflections and memories to the website. This builds on the nation's collective memory and understanding of the experience of our First World War veterans. We've also seen several wonderful examples of the power of open data last year through the Mash Up Australia initiative. This was a series of events supported by the Gov 2.0 Taskforce that saw individuals from all over the country come together for a few days to innovate with government data sets, creating new and at times quite fascinating comparisons, visualisations and demonstrations of information. Finally, I'd like to briefly discuss engaged and collaborative government. Gov 2.0 is an opportunity to take government to a new level of citizen participation, where citizens can engage directly in partnership with government to co-design future directions. There are some outstanding examples of government consultations that are leveraging these online tools. The task force tackled the daunting challenge of providing government with a practical blueprint for Gov 2.0 here in Australia, and the aim was to get the ball rolling with practical steps to make public information more easily available, to better engage with citizens and to reinvigorate and modernise the public sector to be able to respond and engage to the community. So I'm very pleased to inform everyone that the response from government was extremely positive. As I mentioned, almost all of the recommendations were agreed to, and I believe this was an excellent endorsement of the quality of the report, and I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate the Chair, Dr. Nicholas Gruen, the members of the task force, their dedicated staff, and the committed community who gave their own time and experience to make sure to see through the success of this very important report. The task force reported along three main themes, and I'll briefly describe the practical measures to address each theme. The government response to the leadership, policy and governance to achieve necessary shifts in public sector culture and practice will include the launch of a declaration of open government in the near future. This is very exciting. The government has identified the Department of Finance as the lead agency to implement the Gov 2.0 agenda, along with a steering group made up of a range of agencies, including, of course, the National Archive of Australia. The application of Web 2.0 collaborative tools and practices in the business of government included directing the lead agency to put in place support, advice and knowledge sharing mechanisms to assist agencies applying Web 2.0 tools and practices to their business. This recognises that the interactive web can be used to better empower citizens to engage with government and share their expertise and experiences. Of course, we've also committed to a rigorous approach to web accessibility as part of delivering Gov 2.0 initiatives to ensure that every Australian is included. Open access to public sector information, and included a commitment to a stronger pro-disclosure approach to government data. For instance, when records become available for public access, they will be automatically placed under a permissive copyright licence. Let me conclude by saying what an exciting time we are all in at the moment. The Gov 2.0 agenda will bring to all Australians new opportunities to engage with, gain access to, and reuse and mash up government data for innovation and enhanced transparency. It will also enable the delivery of government services and information to be more effective and more personally relevant. Importantly, our capacity to innovate within government is being tackled through the Ahead of the Game report. Those workforce issues are incredibly important if we are to progress. And The Rudd government has committed to a Gov 2.0 agenda, to an open and transparent approach to government, and this approach stands us in good stead, I believe, to strengthen our democracy. I thoroughly approve and endorse the theme of Information Awareness Month, access across the generations. More than anything else, digital technology is building bridges between all facets of society, and I think I'd like to thank the institutions and libraries whose role, for their leadership, and whose role will only increase as expertise in information management continues to ascend in importance in our society and our economy. So I'd like to wish everybody a fantastic month. This is a celebration of your work, and with that I'm very pleased to officially launch the 5th Annual Information Awareness Month. Thank you very much.